So today we're gonna try to do the last step of the gantry install, which is putting this onto the frame and also and putting all the belts on there. So the first thing that we need to do is to install the belts onto the gantry, and we need 4 of them. Alright, we are done with the gantry installation. As you can see, these move upside down very nicely. Very nicely here, and also this. Yeah, and so the next step will be putting these belts through the Z-axis. That's the first part, and then we'll put belts through the Y and X axis, and then I think after that will be the electronics. But yeah, now this actually looks like a 3D printer now, which is very good progress. So the next step of the build will be on feeding all of these belts through the entire pulley system to make the Z axis. Alright, we're done with the Z-belt installations, and hear the sound. This sounds so good. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, I think this is not tight enough. Oh, interesting. I think I was not supposed to do that. But also, I think I found out that this belt is not tight enough, so I need to, found out a problem. I need to tighten this. Yep, I'm just gonna move them to here, and they're gonna stay in this place until I finish installing everything else. But yeah, that's the Z belt done, and the next step is the A and B belts. And also, I was not recording, but there is a step which is squaring the gantry, which is making sure that this axis, these two frames are perpendicular to each other. So as you can see, they are, because both of these touches the stop at the same time. None of them is wobbling, as you can see here as well. So I've squared the gantry, and yep, we're good to move on to the next step. All right, so the next step we're gonna do is to assemble the A and B belts, which is the belt that goes through all of these to control this movement. And because this printer runs a Core XY system, it uses two belts that require the same tension to be able to work very well. So to do that, the best way is to first run one belt through the entire system, and then cut that belt to the length that you want, and then measure that belt to the second belt to make sure that both of them are the same length. And I have already done that for the preparation, so now we're just gonna put the two belts together. No! I found out that I did something wrong. No! As you can see here, this should have gone through here, inside around here, but instead it went outside. So now I gotta take this belt off and restart it again. Yep. Okay, we're done with the AB belt installation. And to check if the tension in both of these are the same, we can slide this along, and this stays in the center, meaning that these two belt tensions are the same. It would slide left or right if one of them has higher tension than the other, but now it looks pretty good. So we need to cut off the excess belts, and then we can move on to the next step, which is building the X carriage.